I've seen a lot of people make mistakes recently when it comes time to renew their 2-year green card. And the problem with making mistakes right now is that certain applications that get denied will result in deportation proceedings. So it's not just you lose your filing fee, you refile it, you could always pay for a lawyer later if you make a mistake. It's now you'll have to pay for a lawyer later and you'll have to defend yourself in removal proceedings, which could easily add like $8,000 to $10,000 to the legal costs that you would otherwise not have to incur. When it comes time to remove the conditions on residency to get your 10-year green card, a lot of people make the mistake of filing an I-90 to renew their green card when they should be filing an I-751 to remove the conditions on their green card. There are several ways in which people can get 2-year green cards. I'm going to talk about the family-based route of getting a 2-year green card through marriage. So when you marry a US citizen and you apply for your permanent residence, on the date that you become a permanent resident, which means on the date that your green card is approved, if you were married for less than 2 years on that day, then you're going to get a conditional 2-year green card. If you were married for 2 years and 1 day, on the day your green card is approved, you're going to get an unrestricted 10-year green card, and then you don't need to worry about removing conditions. You can either renew your green card 10 years later or 3 to 5 years later, depending on your situation. You can apply for naturalization, become a citizen, and not have to worry about renewing your green card at the 10-year point. If you have a 2-year green card, there's something additional you need to do other than renew your green card after 10 years and apply for citizenship after 3 to 5 years. And that is apply to remove the conditions on your residency. And you need to do this within the 90-day window before your 2-year green card expires. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you get married and then you become a permanent resident. You get your green card on June 30th, 2025. That's the day you become a permanent resident, and your green card is a 2-year green card. So it's going to expire exactly 2 years later. So 90 days before it expires, around March 2027 is when you would consider submitting your I-751, the petition to remove the conditions on your residency. During that 90-day window, whether it's from March to June 2027, doesn't really matter as long as USCIS receives your I-751 petition before your green card actually expires. I don't recommend waiting until the last minute to submit this. In fact, I would ordinarily submit it as soon as you become eligible, which would be 90 days before your green card expires, because if you make a mistake or your attorney makes a mistake and USCIS rejects the filing and mails it back to you, you're not going to know for like 6 weeks. And 6 weeks later, you're going to have to fix the error and refile it. And at that time, you want to make sure you're still within the 90-day period. I recently had a client who got her conditional green card through me, but decided that she didn't want to pay more for a lawyer to do the next step to renew her green card and get the 10-year green card, which is fine. People do it by themselves all the time. I have no problem with that. And she should have just asked me and I would have told her what to do. But anyway, she didn't want to spend money, which is understandable, and did it herself. The mistake she made was she didn't file an I-751 to remove the conditions on residency. She filed an I-90 to get a new green card, to renew the green card and get the 10-year green card, which was a mistake. And 8 months later, she got a denial notice in the mail saying your I-90 is denied because you never removed the conditions on your residency. She's now also deportable, by the way, because she failed to file the I-751 on time. And so now she came to my office with the I-90 denial, and I said, we need to immediately file this I-751 because there's a good chance that pretty soon you're going to be placed into removal proceedings. We're in the process of filing the I-751 now, but if she gets a notice to appear in immigration court while this is pending, because she didn't file the I-751 on time, that's gonna add a ton of expense, easily like $8,000 to $7,000 in removal defense fees, depending on the attorney you use. That's just our fees. I don't know. I know some attorneys charge way more than that. And that was totally avoidable and unnecessary. And frankly, I don't even want a case like that because it's just like it uses up a ton of time. It's a bad use of money. The client's not happy. It's a lose-lose for everyone involved. Okay, so first point, make sure you file the I-751 on time, because even if you file it 1 day late, USCIS is likely to send you a notice of intent to deny or a request for evidence asking for an explanation why you filed it late. And depending on how policies change and evolve over time, some reasons might not be acceptable, like filing an I-90 instead of an I-751. Stupid reason, totally avoidable. Right now, USCIS seems to be accepting that as a reason, but that's not guaranteed to be true in the future. So be super careful about filing the right form. The second thing we're going to talk about is what to include when you file your I-751 to remove the conditions on your residency. So what USCIS wants to see is that you are still in a good faith marriage. You received your conditional green card. Your green card that expires after 2 years is conditional. And the condition is that you need to file an I-751 down the road with more evidence that you're still in a good faith marriage. This was an effort by Congress to reduce the instances of marriage-based immigration fraud. So after you get your marriage-based conditional green card, right before the 2 years are up, 90 days before, you need to file an I-751 to remove the conditions on your residency. And with that, you need to include as much updated evidence of your good faith marriage from the past 2 years as possible. So all the same stuff you submitted with your well-prepared initial green card application, you need to basically update all that stuff for the next 2 years and file it with your I-751. So updated bank statements, updated credit cards, updated lease agreements, updated tax returns from the past 2 years, insurance documents, whether it's health insurance, car insurance, life insurance, updated trips you took together. If you guys have any kids, evidence that they were born and that both spouses are listed as parents on the kid's birth certificate. So photocopies of their birth certificates, and obviously photographs of your relationship from the last 2 years. I like to create like a really thick, organized package with a table of contents, submit it with the I-751 90 days before the 2-year conditional green card expires. And that has been a good recipe for success at my office. All right, guys, I hope this video helps at least one person avoid mistakenly filing an I-90 when it's time to file the I-751 to remove conditions on residency. For those of you who want to speak to an attorney, I practice nationwide in all 50 states and actually throughout the world. As long as it's a matter of US immigration law, I can do it federally. So I only need to be licensed in one jurisdiction to do it nationwide. If you need any assistance with any immigration matter, what I will promise you is that I will never try to sell you on anything, and I'll just spend the entire consultation giving you as much value and information as possible. And afterwards, if you need an attorney to represent you, we could talk about that as well. If you want to speak with an attorney, schedule a consultation with me. My information is in the video description below. If you just want to learn more about family-based immigration or naturalization or changes to immigration policy under the Trump administration, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for another video.